When it comes to setting boundaries, the boundaries, this is the wall of protection. These are the rules and regulations that we have that we want people to follow, which is a good thing. But also, I'm going to talk about boundaries and also ammunition. Ammunition is our words. So, boundary is the gate, the wall of protection, and the ammunition is our words. What I say is what I mean, and I'm only going to say it one time. That is the ammunition. I'm learning how to say no, or I'm learning how to speak up for myself, or I'm learning how to use my voice. Because before in your life, maybe you didn't have any boundaries. Maybe you didn't have no ammunition, meaning your words and your actions going together. But when it comes to setting up these boundaries and using our ammunition, let us be sure that we're using it towards the repeated offender. Because the repeated offender is what caused us to go into a place of building up a wall of protection, that security. Come on now. But what I notice in life, that a lot of times people end up using these strict boundaries. In other words, trying to put your foot down, but you're doing it with the innocent people that's coming into your life to be a blessing. So in other words, what happened is you build up this wall, becoming so critical of everybody else except for the repeated offender. Come on, catch them diamonds. So in other words, you got smoke for everybody except for the repeated offender who comes into your life to damage you and destroy you. These people or a person has been able to have access to you over and over again, but meanwhile you deny access to anybody else who's coming along in your life, and you make things harder for people who have not even wronged you. See, a lot of times why people will lack accountability with dealing with the repeated offender is because the repeated offender is the person they still want validation from. Come on now. They want to give this person an opportunity, or these people an opportunity to get it right. Come on, catch them diamonds. So this is why you will notice that they have smoke for everybody except for the person who's damaging their lives. It's like they continue to give this person grace and give this person a pass and continue to be patient with the person that is destroying their souls. And when dealing with a repeated offender, this person will cost your life and also cost your relationship with God, because you will become angry with God that God is not healing this situation, but you keep giving it room to heal, but it just won't heal. But in other words, in other relationships in your life, they do one little thing, they gotta go. So you're putting that wall up towards the innocent people that's coming in your life that could possibly be a blessing. And I'm going to give you another reason why you will see people use boundaries and put up this wall of protection. Why they'll use it on everybody except for that repeated offender, because they know when they set boundaries with their repeated offender, that repeated offender is going to break those boundaries, meaning they're not going to respect that person. They already know that, so they'll set the bar low for them but high for everybody else, because they know once that person break those boundaries, they know they're supposed to stand on what they said and they're not going to do it. So they're going to set that bar low because they're afraid to lose the repeated offender, but they're not afraid to lose you. So that's why if you cross one little line, do one little thing, they will let you go, but they won't let the repeated offender go. And this is what makes me believe what creates other broken people. Because we take everything out on the innocent people in our life and treat them as if they're the ones coming to hurt us. And I'm going to tell you something else that happens in these situations. This person is creating a haunted house. A haunted house is a house with no windows or no doors, meaning no escape. And what they do is they lock themselves in this wall or this house with the repeated offender, meaning this is the person who has access to them to come into their life and hunt them over and over again. In other words, they come into your life to damage you over and over again and destroy you. They continue to torture you. So the only person that has access to them is the repeated offender. Whoever this person is or these people are, these people will have access to continue to hunt them over and over again. Like I said, they're building up a wall, but they allow the repeated offender to continue to gain access. So if you notice this in your life and never dealt with this, this is the person that you want to remove yourself from, because they gonna make things harder on you, because they won't take it out and use those boundaries on the person who's really causing the damage in their life. So they're going to take it out on the weaker vessel, meaning the innocent person. See, you got to realize the repeated offender in a lot of people's life, that is the star player, meaning this is the person that they want to get it right. So no matter how good you are to these type of people, no matter how good you talk to them, They don't care about what you talking about. They don't want to receive the goodness from you, because they want it from somebody else. They want it from the repeated offenders. They need that validation from those people, not you. So this is why you're going to spend a long time burning your wheels with this type of individual. What you do won't be appreciated. You can do it right every single time, but that repeated offender can get it wrong all the time and be praised. Come on, catch them diamonds. I'm telling you what I know, because I witnessed people do this. I witnessed people putting their foot down with the innocent people, or people who appear, versus the person who's actually been causing damage. And these people will cause damage in their lives for years, but yet they want to set these boundaries, these walls of boundaries on everybody else except for that person. And I will tell you, the reason why they gonna also use those boundaries and use their ammunition, meaning their words and how they talk to you, when they really supposed to be putting their foot down with the repeated offender. I'm gonna tell you another reason why they'll use it on the people who have not done anything to them, is because they want to feel like they're setting the tone and putting their foot down with somebody. Because when they may listen to videos about, setting boundaries, learning how to say no, learning how to speak up, having these rules and regulations, they may listen to videos like that. So they want to apply it. So they're going to apply it in the areas of their life where it's easy, where they don't really care that much about losing these individuals, in particular. They're going to use it on just anybody that they don't care about losing. So if they put their foot down with you, and let's just say y'all get into it, a little petty argument, they got to feel like they applying something in their life, like they actually are standing their ground. But they know that they're taking the easy road out, because they're using it on people that don't matter to them. And they'll call it setting boundaries. And then they'll talk about how they had to set boundaries today, but they're once again using it on petty situations and using it on people where it's really not necessary to try to enforce these rules and regulations. But you will notice that they won't use it on the person who's damaging them. And it's crazy when they don't want to see these people as the problem. They'll see everybody else but as the problem, except for the person who's actually the problem, or the people in their life that's actually the problem. So they'll just set those boundaries with you. And the reason why I'm talking about this, because I have witnessed this, and I want you to identify this in your life, just in case you realize that this is something you have done to a lot of people and burnt bridges with a lot of good people, so that you can identify this. And also, I want you to be able to identify this if you may also go through it, so to keep your distance with this person. Because like I said, nothing you do will be good enough for them, because they don't want it from you. They want it from the repeated offenders. That's why they keep letting that person in to rob them and push everybody else out of their life. And they will isolate themselves with the repeated offender, with their abuser. They will isolate themselves in life and take it out on everybody else, and become so critical and so cruel and so callous towards everyone else, because they don't know how to do it with this person. But listen, I'm going to close my message and say this. Remember the reason why you set these boundaries, putting up this wall of protection. And like I say, your ammunition, meaning your words now, using your words. Remember why you started that in the first place. Be sure to keep that energy towards the repeated offender. Use it towards the repeated offender, the person who continue to disrespect you, destroy you, discredit you. Use it towards that person, because that was the reason that put you in the headspace to think about creating boundaries and getting to a place of self-love, right? To know your worth. That was the main reason. This person pushed you to that point, or these people pushed you to that point. Don't become so cold and callous and being so critical of the people that's coming into your life to be a blessing and also to be a healing to your soul. Because what happens is you're going to continue to push out everybody out of your life that God is sending. You're going to sabotage those relationships. And guess what? You're going to be left with the repeated offender, the Grim Reaper. Catch them diamonds.